In this conversation, you're going to watch me coach Mike, who is someone I met in Barcelona. We actually met in a bar where we both had a little bit too many drinks, but we had such a great conversation that I invited him for an actual coaching conversation. And we did that, and that was a few months ago. Now we decided to get back together. And what I love about Mike is that he's got such a driven personality. Like he's got such a big enthusiasm for self-development and doing better, and therefore I just love talking to him. I know that whatever we talk about is gonna at least sit in the back of his mind, right? He's gonna do something with it. And that's what I love about it. And in this coaching conversation, it's not so much about huge insights. That's something that we had in the previous conversation that we had. This conversation is more about Mike learning that he can just trust on himself and that he actually already has all the answers himself and doesn't even need me as a coach. And in the end of the session, I'll be explaining that to Mike as well, how I perceive the situation. But please keep in mind while you're watching, what is happening exactly? What kind of coaching conversation is this? Notice any questions that Mike be asking or any things that he brings up and why, and notice how I reply to that as a coach and what you would have done instead. Be mindful throughout the session and enjoy.
I mean, I know you obviously thought about something that you might want to talk about during this conversation. Did you find anything, or?
Yeah, I got a few. So we'll start with, I've got two. We'll start with, this one will be probably, well, actually, we'll start with the lighter one.
Okay.
But,
that
it's just since since making the account, I've started noticing that it's helping me, pushing me in the right way, because at times I feel like a fraud. Like somebody in the post, like in my opinion, like I'm still, every now and then I'll still like smoke weed, and I know what that does to me. I know that in my, like when I wrote it down in my journal a while ago what it does to me. It just makes me kind of like disassociate, and like I feel like I've been such a driven guy, and it's whenever I smoke, I'm kind of just like, I take a step back and I'm like, all right, like
yeah.
And I'll do that sometimes when I play basketball. And then somebody on my like comments yesterday said like, hey, can you talk about like weed? And then like I haven't responded to that comment yet, but I feel like I need, because I know like the benefit. I know there's like no benefits unless you're like, it's like drinking. Like it's exactly like drinking in my opinion. Like I have fun while doing it, but I know that it's not really healthy. And like I know with moderation though it's fine. But I don't know. I feel like a fraud sometimes with it.
Yeah, I know that one. It's like we cultivate this image of what we think we should be like, especially in the online world, right? And we feel like we gotta live up to how we think other people are seeing us, that we try and hide different parts of ourselves. And I've been doing that for all my life. I might still be doing that without me knowing it. And I feel like people in our field are very good at that. We're very good at selectively picking out the information that we want to share with the world and the things that we're vulnerable about but still willing to share. This is one of those that you're like, fuck, I feel like the perfect image I would have of myself wouldn't be doing that. I feel like other people would judge me if they knew I would, yet I'm doing it, and so I'm hiding it.
Like, I don't know. I like thought about it more last night, and I was like, dude, like I can totally just like, I know I got the willpower. I know I can if I want to, but at the same time, like there's another side of the coin where I'm like, bro, like I still like drink every now and then. Like I see it as like very same thing, and like how it's bad for my body, but how it's fun in the moment to do it with my friends.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. I'm thinking that I might end up like at least stopping until like the 75 chubbed up is what I call it. The 75 chubbed up is finished. But yeah, it's not even like that I'm at this point in my life like I'm abusing it, because I did at one point and I got over that. But like I don't know. It's just, I think it's the problems that I had with it in the past, which is why like whenever like I'll do it the next day, I'll be like, man, like it was fun, but like I gotta like get on my shit. Like I can't be doing that.
Right. I mean, just to get the clarity on that, where's your head leaning most towards the quitting or towards the becoming so okay that you're doing that it that you're willing to even share it with the world?
I do want to share with the world. I'm gonna either like, I want to become like, I think I'm leaning more towards quitting, if I'm being honest. Like, the more I think about it, because like I'll talk, and it's like it's not even like I was talking to one of my friend's parents last night. Like when we went to his 21st, it's like, dude, like you're doing like that's good what you're doing for yourself right there. And like he's saying it, I'm like, dude, like I could be doing better though. Like in my head, that's what I'm thinking. Like I'm not really not doing it to the max right now. And like I need to be doing better. So if it's really lingering with me, like it's not really needed to make life fun. Like life's fun regardless. I know that like fuck it. I gotta pull the plug.
Well, I feel a little something here where it's like you're always gonna have that feeling like you can do better. I promise you, if you quit weed and if you quit drinking, there's still going to be something that you're like, I kind of feel like a fraud right now because I'm still not doing this or I'm still not doing that, or that's always going to be there.
But isn't that the beauty though? Because then I can like, there's ways that I can improve my life beyond that too. Then.
Yeah, I agree. But there's a difference between wanting to improve yourself because you feel like a fraud and wanting to improve yourself because you love yourself and want the best for yourself. It's like, are you escaping a feeling that you don't like? Are you escaping a version of yourself that you can't accept? And is that why you're into self-development? Or are you just simply curious and loving and feel like doing it?
So so are you basically asking about would I be doing it out of fear, or would I be doing it out of like a seek for knowledge, like seeking for knowledge, searching for knowledge, like as like how would I notice that it changes me?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you were to quit smoking weed right now, you would be doing it because you don't like the version of you that smokes weed.
Not even really. Like,
No?
if I'm being honest,
Okay.
like, I'm thinking about it. Like, it's definitely like more so the fraud thing. Like, I don't really have a problem with it. Like, I don't abuse it. Like heck, the only time that I smoke is when I'm playing basketball.
Right. Sorry to get on the same page there. I feel like the feeling of fraud. I was assuming that that's a feeling that you'd rather not have.
Yeah.
And that feeling comes up when you smoke weed. It's like that's why I put them together. Where it's like when I smoke weed, I feel like a fraud. Then I don't like myself. It's not when I smoke weed, I don't like myself. I just took that step out of the way. Does that resonate in a different way?
No, I'd say that's pretty much to a T.
Okay.
It's like it's rare when it happens, but it's also at times like I don't want to smoke my entire life. Like, why not just start now? Like that's really where I'm at right now.
Good question. Why not just start right now?
Exactly. Like I know I can do it. Like I just gotta be like, all right. It's just the matter of like it's something that I like learning. Like I read like a bunch of habit books. It's like when you're starting a habit, like right now, I'm saying like I smoke every once in a while. It's like I start telling myself you have to start forming identity based habits. And you start saying like, no, I don't smoke. Like I'm not a smoker. Like don't even touch it anymore. Like I'm not that guy.
Have you been having that thought about quitting for quite a while, or?
It's been more recent, like within the past few days. Like, yeah.
So, if I'm drawing a conclusion here, you bringing this up is more of a way so you can get to peace with the fact that you're going to be quitting.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That was like something I just wanted to talk to somebody about.
Cool.
It.
I like that. Well, congrats, man. You just quit smoking right now.
Thank you. And I'll stay true to it. Like that applause won't go. It won't go to waste. Trust.
Yeah, for real? Do you feel like, okay, today's the day, I'm not touching that anymore?
Yeah, I can make that happen. I'm gonna do it. Well, I like think like there's always times like fuck it. Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'll keep you up. I'll keep
I'm
you
curious
posted.
about your thoughts. What was the debate going on?
I was thinking like there's times like it's like a friend thing. It's a social thing. Like
Yeah.
when like some friends are like, all right, dude, let's like it's not even like smoking. It's like let's go take edibles and like for me it's always basketball because God those two go so well together for me. But it's always like let's go take edibles and let's go play basketball or something, or like something mental that's fun because like when I smoke it, I think it's funny. Like it's fun because like I overanalyze everything and like I love it. But there was times like that I was thinking, but at the same time, um, if I at the same time like I was thinking like I don't need it. Like everything that I have, like I think the brand is such a powerful tool. Everything that I have fun doing it, what like for, I can just be like that. Like to be honest, like if I want to be goofy, be goofy. Why do I need a substance to do that? It helps. It helps me disassociate and like I need to like it's my whole thing. Like I gotta stay hard. Like I can't be disassociated. I need to like stay in the moment, stay present. Like at all times sounds tough, but like it's really just like really 1 second at a time. Like it's that mindset really.
Yeah. I mean, and this whole 75 hard thing, it's if anything, it's more of an experiment, right? It's and I know how mentally you're in it, and I know you're going to complete it. But in the end, it's all about who am I when I do something like this, and I think I love that curiosity that you have to just do something with that and to motivate and inspire others with your own curiosity. And I feel like this whole weed situation is just going to be another cherry on top of that, where it's like, well, I'm curious about that. Like, um, I've been feeling like a fraud when doing this thing. I recognize that for myself. And I have decided that from now on, at least until the challenge is finished, I'm not going to be touching that and just see what it does to me.
Mm-hmm.
As an experiment where there's no, you can't do that and you're really a bad person. Like, because I just want to put that in that the moment that you were to touch weed in the coming, how many weeks do you have left? 6, something like that.
Something like that, yeah. 6, 7-ish in between.
Yeah. That you don't look back on this challenge being like, fuck, I really fucked it up. I'm a loser. I can't ever do this. I'm really a fraud. But utilize it. Like there's people who are watching your stuff right now and they want to know what's behind it. They want to see the real stuff. And that's what I love about your videos. I've watched a few of them. It's like you talk the language of just people our age, right? They want to watch that. People want to see this and want just a real dude, not some kind of guy who's got his whole life figured out, who's already a millionaire and got this big, like, I don't know what kind of girlfriend he has, but like who's got like the life that we all look up to. We want to see a guy who's real, and I feel like you've got that stuff. And I would encourage you that if you were to say, hey, okay, I'm quitting weed for this whole challenge, share it with your people. But when you relapse, share that shit because that's powerful as fuck. Just wanted to put that in.
I'm literally putting in my notes. Talk about the struggles.
Yeah.
Thank you. I definitely will. I like that. Yeah, I will.
Cool. It's not just skydiving, it's also smoking weed. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I still got to make the script for today, so I'll add that in. I'll say like whatever. I'll start the video off by saying that.
Cool. Yeah. What was the second thing you wanted to get into?
Second one's a bigger life switch for me. It's and it's tough because I know it's going to be financially straining. Like I'm starting to like it's going into senior year. Like it's like an oh shit moment. I'm about to join the workforce. It's something like what like my life's about like not like changed drastically, but like I kind of need to get into gear to start like living a big boy life. And I was thinking like I talked to like all these finance dudes, and I was like, dude, like I'm not really enjoying these conversations. Like finance isn't that fun. And I'm like, bro, I got this degree in finance. So at the end of the day, what I came to the conclusion of is, okay, here's the theory. Like not the theory, but like here's my career path that I have so far. And you'll see what I mean by the end of it. But I want to try to get a sales job my senior year, start making like good money, because like the classes aren't really that hard. I breezed through them. Like they're not that tough. It's a finance, dude.
Right.
And I'll get my finance degree, and depending on the sales job or whatever, entry-based finance job, something like that. But then what's really fascinating me, what I've noticed is like I'm reading these nonfiction books. The ones that I gravitate to are all psychology books. I think that I want to like major in psychology. So as I'm working that first job, I want to start like getting a degree online or like go somewhere and get a psychology degree, because I think like that's where my passion lies. Something in there. Not more so like I don't really know. Like I'm starting to narrow in on it, but one-on-one talks, like yeah, I do have fun with that. Like when I help someone out, like something like you're doing, when I can help someone out, or like for me, it's like when I can motivate people. When I can motivate people to like attack, like just attack in any sense. Like, oh, you want to do that? Go, bang, do that. Something like that. Yeah, the one-on-one talks are awesome, but also what just interests me right now is like how the brain works, and like how can we get more motivated. Like that's what's really fascinating me. That's what I kind of started talking about on like my reels, like dopamine. Like I'm gonna get into it. And like, geez, I could probably talk about it for like the end of the challenge, the next 45 days. Like I imagine I probably will, because it's like it really fascinates me. It's a crazy thing that like, and if we manipulate it, like we can literally like things that we don't like, but if we start telling ourselves like we like it, or like we start associating it things that we like, naturally we're gonna start liking it. Like, geez, I'm not gonna go on a tangent about dopamine, but like yeah, it's just where my passion lies. So I like
Cool.
that's really it's the kind of the strength to like, because I've talked to my whatever parents about it, and they're like yeah, you got a finance degree. Like I understand if you want to get another degree, but like that's a lot of money, dude. And like that one's gonna be coming out of your own pocket. So it's kind of like the jump that I have to do. Like I gotta just say like fuck it. I need to like, and I think that I am. I don't even like. I guess it's also like how we just talked about like smoking. Like it's more so me just talking to someone about it, saying that like, all right, like I'm gonna do this. Like I'm making it happen. Like yeah.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. It indeed sounded like you have made up your mind, but it's more of a. I mean, I work really well hearing myself talk. Sometimes I just need to say stuff for me to understand myself better. That's how I work, and I feel like you sort of got the same thing, where it's like if you just hear yourself talk for a bit, you'll figure it out automatically, and I think that is powerful. I do want to check in with you though, because you do realize that psychology is much broader than just dopamine and how the brain works, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
No, I know. It's like this is where it's gonna sound a little bad, but
Sorry,
like
you're lagging up.
even growing up, like, oh, am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah. All right. Like even growing up, like I've thought the psychology is like just so cool. Like just the fact, like if I could, all right, that's where it sounds a little bad, but like swear, not really doing it. I guess I kind of am still doing it, but like manipulation, the psychology of manipulation, like getting people to do stuff that you want them to do, and not necessarily in bad ways, but like, yeah, exactly. Like that's always fascinated me too. Like I'm a middle child. Like I've always like been trying to manipulate both brothers, but yeah, that's always fascinated me too. So I understand that it's a lot more than just that, and I kind of have like I do like psychology as like a whole, like the whole umbrella. I do like it.
Cool. Well, that's good. I recognize myself in that manipulation thing. I realized that throughout a big part of high school, this whole self-development thing kind of really started when I started to look into the psychology behind people, because I wanted to be popular. I wanted to get girls. I wanted to make friends. And I had no clue on how to do that because I was super shy. And like, I didn't look shy, but deep down I felt insecure about everything. And then, yeah, to dive into that psychology of people, it made me appear like a better person on the outside. And that sort of helped a little bit with the anxiety. And in the end, it went away and I grew comfortable with myself, but I did need that pursuit towards manipulation almost, to feel better about myself. And I do realize that this whole field of self-development and everything like that comes in the end from an insecurity about myself. That's the reason why we're all here in the end. Everyone is into this. We've been at a point in our lives where like, I don't want to be this one. I don't want to be this person.
Exactly.
I want to be more that,
People
or I want to be
just-
less this.
People just like respond to it differently. Some people put it on other people. Some people like self-development, like a little bit more healthy with it, but everyone just responds to it in different ways.
Yeah. How about after this whole psychology thing? Do you feel like what it is that you want to do? Let me ask in a different way. Sorry. The studying psychology, is that something you would be doing just for fun, or is that something that would suit you and help you out with a potential career in the future, or both?
I think the latter. Like, well, obviously that could be fun for me, but
Right.
you want to like make your like work life something that you're passionate about. And if psychology is what I'm passionate about, I'm going to continue to follow it into the field, which is what I definitely want to do.
Cool. You obviously brought it up for a reason, and I think part of that reason was to check in and feel how you feel about it. What changed after you did that, or is there any insecurities there or anything that you feel like we could discuss that?
It was more so like, I don't even know if it was insecurities, because I'm not really insecure about it. Like, I don't really know what I would be insecure about. Like getting a degree in psychology. I think that, in my opinion, I think that's such a cool thing. But it was more so, I think, what you said earlier about like how I just sometimes you need to hear yourself like talk, and like it's like clarifying, convincing yourself at that point. Like, all right, like this is happening. This is what I'm doing. All right, like bang, like it happens. But I think it's more so that.
Oh, I'm glad it feels good. That's nice. I used to study psychology for about a year, then I quit.
What do you think of it?
I had similar. I started to do it for similar reasons as to why you're interested in it. And to me, it was, although I had a big spirituality background too, so I really missed that. I was too much by the book, too much rules, too many brainy terms, and all of that. Where that I love it. I thought this is an amazing study, and it's great that there's people who learn that. But for me, it was just too scientific, and I really needed something more light. And that's what I found in coaching. And I feel like I was always leaning towards the therapy side of psychology. But I'm very happy that I now get to just do my own thing and have my own style with the coaching. But I thought the study was great. Yeah. I really had a lot of fun. So I decided to quit.
It was too scientific, too many like, I don't even know what, like too many chemicals, too many neurotransmitters,
right.
Just like stuff like that.
And like all the statistics and research stuff, which is all, again, it's super interesting, taught me a lot. But I just realized it wasn't my thing. And I needed to do it to realize it, right? I'm not sad that I did it and quit. It wasn't a waste of time at all. I feel like sometimes we got to take roads that will lead us to other ones. That was one of them.
Exactly. Like, it's, I 100% agree. It's like, oh, just a sec. All right, there we go. But I definitely agree. Like, if you're passionate about something, follow it, and if it leads you to a new passion, follow that. Like, it's always like, I don't. It's like I don't know why I've been thinking about it, but like, I feel like as people get older, like they start to feel like they're trapped and like they can't. Oh, am I still there?
Yeah.
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 All right. I feel like they start to feel like trapped, like they can't get out of situations. Like, and this is a part that I want to share just because that's more so about like my dad. But like he feels like he's trapped in his like trapped in his job, like he can't really leave. And like I feel like it's like youth's like a hard, like such a hard thing. Like if you're not really passionate about your job anymore, like dude, you don't gotta do it. Like I understand, like you're providing for the family, and that's awesome, and I love you for that. But like, follow your passion. If it really doesn't lie at where you're at anymore, go do something that you love. Like it, like youth is a state of mind.
Yeah. I partially agree with you on that one. I used to see my mom in that same way, where I saw she had aspiration, like she wanted to do bigger things. She was pursuing different things, like different parts of the career that she was in, and she was really interested in it and wanted to do different parts of it. And I just, I saw the interest that she had, but I also saw her, I don't want to say give up, because I don't want her to hear this and be like, you see me as giving up, because I don't think she gave up, but I saw her interest shift away from that. And I know that I was like, why would you do that? I can see how passionate you are about this. And then I think it was just too much of a risk to her. And I'm completely assuming all of this, but I feel like it was too much of a risk for her to go after those things. And for a big part of me was thinking, how could you be happy with that? Like, how could you just stop growing and stop that development of yourself and just stay where you are when you're obviously complaining about it? And never really got that. And there's a book out there, Conversations with God, where it's like, it's all about choosing who you want to be in the end. And if you're someone who has a job that he hates because he wants to be someone who would go to work that he doesn't like in order for him to provide for his family, then that's awesome. That's a great choice to be someone like that. You can be someone else, but you're consciously choosing to be that type of person. And I feel like for some people, and this might be a little weird thing to say, but I feel like some people are very passionate about not going after their passion. And I think there's a beauty in that, right? There's a lot of people who just live their life in that way. They don't need that. They feel like it's too scary. They feel like whatever, but their passion comes from that safety, from that complaining too. People love complaining. There's big passion in complaining for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And therefore the life they have really suits them. Like having a job that you hate, so you get to complain when you come back home. Perfect. And nothing
But
wrong with that.
Yeah, at the same time though, I respect them like so much because it is like what you said, like you choose the life that you want to live. And
Yeah.
like if it is like work in that job that you don't like in order to provide for the family, and like and because you're putting family first, like that is so respectable.
Right.
And I honestly think that it goes back to the very beginning when I was talking about being selfish and like you can't really, once you like have a family, like you have all these responsibilities, like that's when you can't really, in my opinion, like I think that I'm gonna be the same as when I'm older. You can't really afford to like be selfish and like go off and do something because you need to provide for that family.
Right. I
And
mean,
like
the family becomes your new selfish, right?
exactly.
I think that's interesting.
Yeah.
Fun. Yeah. Props to your dad.
Dude, for real. Like, damn, I kind of just changed my mindset because like I saw him complaining and I was like, all right, dude, like I get it, like your job sucks, but like now it's like, all right, like he's doing something he doesn't like, but he's doing it for the family, which is like way cooler way to put it.
Yeah. And that those priorities do shift over the years. I do acknowledge that. And therefore right now you don't have to worry about that. Like you get to prioritize
yourself and figure all of that shit out because you don't have those other priorities. You don't have a family to look at. Like your decision on who you decide to be isn't as doesn't have as big of an effect on the people around you as it would have when you're a dad or whatever.
Yeah. Or when you got like a dog, when you got like a girlfriend,
Right.
stuff like that. Like I'm primed right now. I can be so selfish.
It's a good place to be. How are you feeling about this conversation?
I was literally just thinking about it. I feel,
For me, I feel good. I feel a little bad because like it's not like as big as like a breakthrough as like last time. Like, but like for me, that's like a good feeling because like I feel like all right, yeah, like I'm like on my shit right now. It's not that coaching isn't as needed as much. It's like I'm on my shit to where like I'm just got to stay on this path. Whereas the last time it was like helping me get on that path.
Right.
So for me, it feels good, but I feel bad because like I just feel like there's like it's less coaching to do.
Interesting. Well, let me redefine your definition of coaching then. It literally came to me in a session I had previously today where I was listening to a podcast yesterday from someone in the Netherlands who was talking about his depression and how he dealt with that. And he gave this metaphor where he was like, depression was really like falling into this big hole. And every time I tried to climb out, I couldn't, and I fell back down. And at those times you really feel like giving up because you're like, what's the point? And he said, I realized that every time I tried to climb out, there was a point to it because I was growing muscles. And every time I tried to climb out and I failed and I failed and I failed. But as I was doing that, I was building the muscle to work myself up there. And then at some point I tried to climb out and I succeeded. And some people have that too, where they get out of their depression. And then some people ask you like, aren't you scared that you'll fall back in? And he's like, well, I'm not, because I know that I have the muscles to climb back out. And I know that I'm taking care of these muscles so that if it happens, and it does, sometimes I fall back in the hole, but I can get myself out way quicker than I used to be able to back then. And I feel like coaching is very much based around that metaphor, where sometimes as a coach, you help someone climb out and they might not succeed for the however long, but at some point they're going to get out of that hole. And then it's about building the muscle and keeping the muscle. And sometimes as a coach, we're just here to test people and to show them you don't need a row. You've got the muscle. Like, you're good. And sometimes as a coach, we push someone back into the hole just to see if they can get out themselves. And I feel like what we did in this conversation, I was like, all right, do 20 push-ups and give me 30 pull-ups to prove that if you were to fall back into the hole, you'd be able to get out. And I feel like that's sort of what some coaching conversations are about, where it's like remembering that you knew everything all along and that you don't need a coach, that you don't need to talk to anybody, that you got it. And that reminder is sometimes great to have. And I feel like that's sort of what this conversation was about.
Yeah, that was a great way to put it. I'm not even gonna lie. I was like, where's he going with this? But
Right.
then you thought about like the muscle and like keeping it in, like, and I was like, damn, all right, yeah, I see it.
Interesting. Glad that it resonates.
Yeah, no, it was a very good metaphor.
I sometimes I joke about this with other coaches, but it's like sometimes we say I don't do anything. Like, I literally don't. Right now, what did I do? Like, obviously I was there. I held space. I had all the I built the skill set, but in a way, you found all the answers. You just talked, and then you were like, right, I know it. And there's power to that. And that's
Yeah, but what makes coaching so special is you directed that train of thought.
Right.
You got me to the thinking and then getting in that mind space.
Exactly. There's much more to it, and I agree
Yeah.
with that. And it's very easy not to take credit for it. It's like the story of Picasso, where he's sitting in a cafe, and then a woman comes up to him, and he's like, "Oh, could you please draw me something?" And he just grabs a napkin and he puts something down for takes him 5 seconds, and he hands it to the woman, and he's like, "Well, that's 10,000 euros."
And she's like, 10,000 euros, that took you 5 seconds. And he's like, no, it didn't. It took me my whole life. And I love that one because it's like coaching for me right now. So it's simple, right? I feel like I'm not doing anything special, yet I did. And everyone's got to remember that. Wherever you're at in life, it took you your whole life to get there. So props to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's been your biggest insight from this conversation?
I feel like it has I have the same outtake as our first conversation. It's like I'm thinking about, for example, like I don't want to smoke weed anymore. Like I do want to, like how I do / am going to major in psych after I get my degree in finance. But thinking is one thing. Planning, you can only plan so much. Like you got to start moving at some point. Like you got to get these thoughts that you have in action. And sometimes it very much so helps to verbalize it, which is where you're so helpful, because I was able to think about it and talk about it. And I'm like, all right, yeah, like we're making this happen now. Which like kind of what happened in the same sense in our first conversation. I'd say that was on a bigger scale, but like
Right.
I know moving forward, like if I'm thinking about stuff, like just like have a conversation with one of my friends or like loved ones about it, like yeah, just like talk about it, because like if I talk about it, like I'll make it happen.
Right. I have it all the time where I can sit in the shower. I don't sit in the shower, where I stand in the shower, and I have this idea that pops up to me, and then I just sit with that idea for like weeks before I put it in action, just because I want to know the right steps. I don't even know if other people are going to like it. I'm just procrastinating or like overthinking it so much when I could have started like right after the shower. And I feel like the more we catch ourselves with these things where it's like, oh, I just had a thought that was actually a great idea, but I waited a whole week to implement it. The more conscious we become of that, the easier we'll be able to implement it next time. Like this weed thing of yours, and you sat with it for, I don't know how long, it wasn't that long of a time, but it wasn't that you had the thought and you decided to quit. You needed to hear yourself talk about it in this conversation. And you're going to have more of those types of thoughts. It's like, oh, maybe I want to do this, or maybe I want to stop doing this. And yeah, it's great to indeed talk to people about that, but like speed up, because you could do that the same day.
Exactly. Like that's kind of my takeaway. Like
Cool.
the talk's gonna happen eventually, might not today.
Yeah. Awesome, man. I appreciate this conversation.
Appreciate you.